Okay.
Basically, what we're doing is we're taking a media studies class where we have to build a website around a specific issue, and our group chose to focus on homelessness, specifically within Winchester, to sort of find out what causes there are behind people getting in this situation, what sort of help there is available for them in the community, and how they can get that sort of help, and how even students can volunteer and show their support.
Sure.
Okay.
But so you said you've only been here 3 times?
Yeah. So this is my third evening here in Winchester. So do you want to know a bit about why I'm here? Well, essentially, I've worked in the health sector like all my life. So over 32 years in the National Health Service as a nurse, a midwife, and various other roles. So I very much come from that type of background. I turned 50 this year, and I have time on my hands. And I suppose it was actually thinking more about Christmas is actually what sort of knee-jerked me into sort of finding out about homelessness, because often it's one of those things that at Christmas people, you often see a lot of media around soup kitchens and things like that, and I thought, oh, maybe I should do that this Christmas. But actually I guess it's a bit like the old cliche of a dog, a puppy isn't just for Christmas, it's for life. So actually I thought, well, actually, you don't actually just volunteer at Christmas, Gina, you can volunteer all the time. So I'm particularly interested in homelessness, and there's no real reason for it, other than perhaps some understanding around health, and actually if people are able to have a roof over their head, they're able to have a role in society, whether that's a job, they're able to keep warm, all of that equals a happier life, a healthier life, hopefully. So I guess it is slightly connected that supporting a homeless charity seems to be a really worthwhile thing to be doing. I find it absolutely fascinating because I actually don't come from Winchester, I come from Basingstoke, which is a town about 15 miles down the road.
So you travel here every day?
So I travel here probably once a fortnight, maybe once. I was here last week, so sometimes once a week, once a fortnight. I guess because of my role in the hospital, I also didn't necessarily want to meet the client group here during my day job, because I sort of feel this is their life and that's my work, and I didn't really want to put anyone in an embarrassing situation if it's like, oh, this is what you do, Gina, or whether they wanted to even acknowledge me. So I sort of come here perhaps a bit anonymous to my day world. And it's very interesting. It's very, very interesting. The client group isn't probably what one would expect. Very educated, very pleasant, none of probably any of the cliches that perhaps would be associated.
Well, see, that's the sad thing about homelessness is people stereotype it so badly, even though there's
even I said, I guess I was surprised, and that's probably because of my preconceived ideas.
Yeah.
Definitely.
See, back home I've helped in the soup kitchen, and I've met amazing people through it, because, you don't realize that they've actually come from pretty high up, and then something bad happens in their life and it just falls apart, and they just need to get help to get back where they were.
So therefore we all walk along that tightrope, don't we? And sort of like 6 weeks off losing your home type scenario is probably as true as it ever has been. I also like being in a very non-judgmental environment, which I think is very much, again, my background in sort of health work. You hope you wouldn't be judging anyone. Hi.
Hello.
Is that pudding?
Yeah, I just made it. It's fresh.
Beautiful. Goody.
Wow. Pudding looks good. So I like the idea that actually I like judging people. I don't know any of the backgrounds. I volunteer, I'm the second person here. So really what anyone wants me to do tonight. So that's wash up, put away the blanket, sit and drink coffee, watch telly for 3 hours. It's really what anyone wants. And I actually like that. I actually sort of just quite like, I just don't mind just saying what you want me to do, and I'll do that. The first evening I volunteered, there was probably only one person that really wanted just to chat, but that was actually about Christmas, so I suppose I found that quite sad. The evening I was here the last time, there was a lot more interaction with the guests, and I felt I had more of a support role for the supervisor. I suppose I find it quite challenging because when you've worked in an environment for like 30 years, you so know what it's about and what's around the corner, and my role in the hospital means no 2 days are the same, but pretty much you can manage any situation. And I suppose it's a bit of a surprise for me to think that actually it's going to take me 6 months before I really feel useful and that I have a role here.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense, definitely.
But I also think, well, that's okay. I'm quite cool about it.
And so far, it sounds like it's been a positive experience for you.
Yeah, very much. Yeah, I really enjoy it. I actually look forward to coming. I sort of plan a bit around it. I think about the cold weather so differently. I flew when it was snowing last year, and we had amazing snow. It was so pretty, and the children playing, and we had a bit of a crisis in Basingstoke. We were cut off for like 4 days and stuff, so walking to work and stuff, it was a big adventure. Whereas this week, when it started to snow, I was like, oh my god, those poor people.
Yeah.
I thought, how have I got to all these years and not really considered everything? But I suppose that's because I'm a new girl looking at homelessness. But yeah, you do suddenly start to think of things slightly differently.
Definitely, yeah. I think even just walking down here, I was thinking of that. It's just so bitterly cold this week. Oof.
Yeah, I think my car was registering -4 just this evening, so that's going to be a tough night for some people.
What is that in Fahrenheit? Is that like 28?
Oh yeah, you're in different language.
It must be around,
It has to be about 28
Yeah,
or
it
so.
must be less than that actually, I should think.
Really?
I should think it might, well,
So maybe
no,
about
you'll have
25.
to get the old...
I think 0 equals 32, so it's around there.
I spent 5 weeks in America earlier this year, and it's like simple things like that I grew up with, but for the last 25 years been Celsius. So I've gone to new ways.
I think that covers most of it. Did you have any other?
No, that really does cover a lot.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Thank you for your time and